Okay, guys, I've had multiple people request this as a topic. So, the Black Death or the bubonic plague. I got a lot to cover, so we're going to go kind of quick. Well, the first part, most of you know, is it's because of fleas on rats, and there's a whole song about this. But what happened is the flea drinks the blood of the rat and gets this bacteria infection. And then it multiplies inside the flea, and the flea's guts get clogged up. And so what happens is the flea basically vomits the blood out, and it is going to get onto a human and into human cuts and abrasions and stuff, and that's how it gets transmitted to humans. So bacteria in a rat carried by a flea is how the infection is going to spread, and they're going to spread it. Fleas will spread it through other rats, and it just snowball effect. Okay, so this is the graphic one. So these giant lymph node swellings. You can see the top right one. It gets a little black. That's why it's called black plague. It's pretty bad. It's going to spread. In a second, we'll get to that. Here's an interesting one. In the Battle of Kaffa, the Mongols are actually throwing plague-infected bodies over the wall. They're putting them in trebuchets and launching them over the walls of the into the city, and it's going to cause the plague to spread because I mean fleas are on these dead people, and they're gonna transfer it. But like I said, the plague is going to follow the trade routes. It's going to start in Asia, and it's going to follow the Mongol trade routes. And the Mongols had huge amount of territory, so it's going to travel all over. And that is going to come to Italy. And the first European nation that's going to get it is going to be Italy. I like this map better. As you see, the islands off of Italy, Sicily, Sardinia, Corsica are going to get it. And then it's going to go up through Italy, through the mainland of Europe, and eventually encompass all of Europe. So, and this is going to be over roughly a 3-year span. This might be an image that you're familiar with. It's called the Plague Doctor. And this was like the uniform, the costume they would wear. And I often get asked, what's with the bird face, the bird beak? Well, they thought it would protect them. Inside the beak, they put a lot of strong smelling stuff. A lot of times it's going to be lavender, and they thought because it smelled so strongly, it would force out this infection. You have to understand, people don't know what's going on. They don't know how to stop it. They went to such lengths that the Pope literally was surrounded by a ring of fire. They built a fire around the Pope in this big room, and the Pope stayed in it because they thought the fire would keep this uh, pestilence at bay. Okay, so cures, these are laughable. They're laughably bad. You have to remember, this is during the Dark Ages, and with the fall of Rome, we've lost a lot of the knowledge that we had. So, hey, let's cure your Black Plague by having chopped up snakes. What? Okay. Uh, people were told to avoid bathing and exercise. That's bad. The fact that you're riddled with fleas, and fleas actually don't like super clean people, so this is the opposite of what you should do. Okay, so the amount of deaths, it is unbelievable. Africa's high, Asia, we're talking in the millions. There are literally going to be towns in Europe that cease to exist. So many people died that the remaining people just left. They couldn't stay there. So if you look at a population graph of the world, it actually goes down because of the Black Plague. Um, a third, a third is the one that I've heard most. I've seen estimates up to 50%, but it's not like we're taking a census back then, so we don't really know. Jews are going to be blamed for the Black Death. Villages are going to be attacked. Jews are going to be massacred. Um, it's bad. They would burn them alive. It's not good. So this is the thing that you guys have heard of, the ring around the rosy. It's about the rings on the necks of people, and it's we all fall down. It's because everybody's dying. So these are the effects. It really changes the population. Trade goes. People gain more power. There's peasant revolts. The rise of cities because we have a surplus in food because there's so few people, and it really affects the ability of the church. They lose a lot of power because it doesn't matter. People die.